Creighton, Stark County Commissioner.
Commissioner Creighton, do you know Tom Bernabei?
Yes, I do.
And for how long?
I knew of Tom Bernabei back in the 80s, but we really didn't have the opportunity to work together. I got to know him a lot better when I became the mayor, and he was a councilman at large for the first 2 years of my 4-year term. Then in 2010, we both ran for the office of county commissioner, and since then I've worked with him on the board.
Have you had the opportunity to work with him on issues that involve city-county relations between the county and the city of Canton?
He has basically taken the lead on that. I have more or less stayed away. And he, as the president of the board, really, we defer those things to the president of the board, so he's had the most involvement with that.
And so the board has really entrusted him with that aspect of its business.
Oh, absolutely.
And in that regard, the board has entrusted him in dealing on a routine basis to the extent that the commission does with Mayor Healy.
That is correct.
Do you have any reason to believe that the board has made a mistake in entrusting relationships between the commission and Mr. Healy and Mr. Bernabei?
We have not made that mistake. In fact, we have elected Tom Bernabei, the president of the Board of County Commissioners, which is unprecedented. Normally it changes every year, but because of his ability and his leadership skills and his honesty and his truthfulness and his integrity. Thank you. I am a cheerleader and I always will be, Lee. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let me ask you this. The board elected Mr. Bernabei president in part because the president deals with the city of Canton, and the board had confidence that Mr. Bernabei would discharge those duties well.
That is correct.
Are you aware of any reason to believe that Mr. Bernabei is harboring a grudge or seeking vengeance against Mayor Healy for termination years and years ago?
No, I do not. And he could have run 4 years ago if he wanted to, but he chose not to.
If you knew or you believed that Mr. Bernabei was harboring some sort of grudge against Mayor Healy, would the commission have put him in the position of being its point man with Mayor Healy?
No, we would not have put him in that position.
Have you formed an opinion as to his ability to discharge his duties in a civic-minded spirit through vengeance?
Objection. Sustained.
And would you say that Mr. Bernabei is particularly partisan, Commissioner?
Objection. Relevancy. I agree.
Well, I would only suggest that it goes to the notion of him being such a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat that he could not possibly have done this in good faith. We've heard that for 8 hours.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've heard a lot in the hours. Sustained. This is, you know,
how does he get to work with as a bipartisan?
again, it's the same relevance.
Did Mr. Bernabei discuss the potential of disaffiliating himself from the Democratic Party with you?
Yes, he did.
And when did that discussion take place?
Monday, April the 27th, I think.
And do you remember the substance of that discussion?
That he was considering disaffiliating. And that's his choice, just as I have a choice to do what I do.
Objection to strike editorial.
I'm very thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm very but character and intent are key here. Did you give him any advice with respect to disassociation?
My only advice to Tom Bernabei is to always to do what is right, just as we all agree on our Board of Commissioners, and whatever was in his heart. No one else can make that decision but Tom.
Did you form an opinion as to whether, in seeking to disassociate himself with the party, he was acting from his heart?
Yeah.
Because with faith,
No, the heart of that. Yeah.
You, over the course of how many years of politics?
Over 30 years.
Have had the opportunity to deal with many politicians, I imagine.
Yes, I have.
You've had the opportunity to weigh the public-mindedness or the pettiness and vindictiveness of many politicians, have you not?
That is correct.
I would imagine that one does not rise to become a county commissioner without being skilled in that regard. Did you take Tom Bernabei's temperature as to his sincerity when he told you he was going to disaffiliate?
Objection. sustained.
I'm not sure, Mr. Chairman, if I can't ask about the good faith of his action, which is the central statutory test. Respectfully, I don't know what else I can ask. I can only thank you, Ms. Creighton, for your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for the record, I would say that we've had witness after witness about his good faith.
I understand.
His good nature, so we understand.
My client is on trial for his political life. I understand what he says.
You are a circulator of Mr. Bernabei's petition.
Yes, and proud of it.
Thank you. And you are a member of the Republican Party Executive and Central Committee?
Central Committee, not the executive,
Central Committee.
and I am a proud member of the Republican Party.
Good. That's two prouds, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, and you were proud to be the mayor of Canton for a number of terms, correct?
Yes, one term.
Okay. And the reason that you only had one term of prideful service is because Mayor Healy beat you as you tried to get to your second term, correct?
That is correct.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.